What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. You know who it is. It's your boy John.
The fucking white belt slayer's back.
He's back in the house.
I've never been so happy to fucking do a podcast and do jiu-jitsu.
You were sick for a minute,
Dude, man. I'm still not 100%, but I went in there and gave everyone COVID.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, though, because you were almost 2 weeks.
Almost, yeah. It was like 9 days. So I haven't...
So today is the first day of training again?
First day I trained in 9 days. So
How was it?
It wasn't bad. Professor Trevor gave me some light rolls.
Was there a lot of people?
Dude, well, fucking Ismail and fucking Luke were there. So I was like... Oh, and Misa, I got Misa, but me and Misa kind of flowed. But you also spelled Misa's name wrong, homie.
I never...
M-I-S-A.
Oh, I added an extra S.
Yeah, I know.
It's because he's extra cool.
Did you see me spam in the comments?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck these fools. I'm going to get my words in.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good podcast.
It was really good, man. I really enjoyed that conversation.
It was good. I'm glad he was able to jump on. Rolling with him is always a fucking...
Man, fuck. He hit me with some magic shit today.
Yeah,
dude.
he's been... his game is like you said, I was saying I was watching him roll yesterday. I was just watching him put it on people. But it wasn't even like... it wasn't smash. He was just doing, like... He was really technical, like, moving from position to position, his transitions. I was like, damn, man, he's looking really fucking smooth. He did this weird... He has this... I don't know what it's called, but it's like a reverse, like... Kimura, but with your legs. I don't know how it's called, but he hit that with the dude standing, and he kind of fell, and he had his arm, and he grabbed his leg, and then he kind of swept him and turned it straight into a straight ankle lock. I was like, oh, that was fucking... I was like, that was nasty. It was a perfect setup. I was like, that was clean.
I know that I haven't, but I hope my jiu-jitsu looks the way that his does in his progression. So I can remember the first time I saw Misa roll. It was Misa and Luke's farmer brother that used to come in at the fucking boots and the mullet. Those motherfuckers just went like 1,000% on each other. And I was like, and they were both brand new white belts. I was probably a 3 or 4 stripe white belt when they both came. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
We have a lot of new white belts. There's a lot of new people.
Man, no disrespect, homie. You found out today, dog. The white belt slayer was there today. I felt so bad. I arm locked the fuck out of this dude. Yeah. This dude's strong. He's big and strong. And he fucked up. I was on the back, and he rotated, so I had him like side saddle with my legs crossed. So I came up to the mount, and my leg was just over a top, and I transitioned to the regular arm lock, and I moved my knee behind his head, and he didn't know what was going on, and I was like, well, you're fucked now. And I bear hugged his shit, and I fell back, and it didn't break the grip, and then I just popped it, and then this dude's big and strong. I didn't expect it, so when I popped it. It was just immediately in. And I was like, oh, fuck, my bad, dog. I arm locked the fuck. I hope his arm's okay.
My girl, I guess this guy that works with my girl, he wanted to do jiu-jitsu, and he showed up. I didn't know who he was, and I guess I rolled with him. And he told me. Well, no, I worked with him, but I guess he told my girl afterwards. He's like, man, she's like, your husband was nice to me. He's like, he's not like everyone else that just absolutely wrecks me or something like that. I was like,
you have to show me here so I can break his ass off.
I normally don't. I don't know. I haven't been rolling like super aggressively. Just kind of been there just to get the workouts in and get my cardio in and stuff like that.
I think I found the median today. So I rolled with Misa today, and he broke my ass off. But it was like hard transitions and hard submissions, but like it wasn't 100% strength everywhere. Like when I got to it, like when I was getting 80% of a position, he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And then he worked out of it. And then like when I felt his transition coming, I didn't give it to him, but I worked within that instead of trying to fight through it. Yeah. I worked within that position. And then I would grab something, he would let me work back. So it was like a hard flow roll.
Yeah.
I think that is the median. Yeah. So that you're not getting hurt, but you're feeling strength, you're feeling pressure.
Plus you're practicing the technique.
Yeah, exactly. And you're getting sharper with it. I think that's the way to go. Maybe not 100%.
Man, this is what I've been telling you for fucking ever.
Nah, bitch. You either roll fucking like dead fish or 1,000% aggro.
I do not. I never roll aggro. I always roll like whatever. I never go 100% unless someone turns it up and then they go 100%.
Yeah.
Then you have to.
But I feel like when you and I roll, it's either like 80% or 5%. There's no in between. We got to find that medium where we give something up.
Yeah.
It's probably it's been months since we rolled.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A long time.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would come today so I can call you out on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know. There's so many new people and so many people I haven't rolled with. Like a lot of people. I rolled with I think it was a blue belt. I think he's a blue belt. I don't remember. And he's like, oh man, it's been a minute since you beat me up. I just kind of laughed. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Well, I wanted to say this first. It's been 3 weeks since we asked you how fat you are, you piece of shit.
Shit. I'm on point, actually. I'm doing pretty good. I'm right now, I'm fluctuating between 216 and 218.
Okay,
and it's
that's better.
Going up and
that's
down.
better. I'm probably.
But I'm trying to go. I want to go. I want to go lower, obviously. But I'm kind of like.
I think that's your weight.
I got to travel next week. Again, not next week. The week after. So I'm gonna be gone for that week.
You're a 222er, dog.
Hell no.
What's the next one? 208.
I'm just too short at that. Yeah, 208.
Stop.
I'm too short for.
You're like Gimli, homie.
I'm just too short. And so it ends up being
all
a
power.
problem.
You're like the trunk, dog.
Well, that's the only benefit I get. If they're tall, then I'm usually like a little bit stronger.
We gotta teach you. We gotta teach you how to switch your hips and start throwing people.
Stocky is my spot.
Yeah, you're like,
that song.
I don't know, but you're like Gimli, dog.
I don't even know who that is.
You never seen Lord of the Rings?
Oh,
the little redhead fool.
Okay, yeah, the little
all power, dog.
The axe dude.
Yeah, all power, dog. Yeah, you know, I'm getting. This is some real 40-year-old shit, even though I'm not 40. Dude, I'm finding myself like rolling with people and stopping them. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not what you do. And trying to coach them into a position. They're never like winning a position on me. But I'm like literally like sticking my arm out and like wiggling my hand. Like, hey, grab this shit. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, but they might be thinking you're baiting them. I do that a lot just to bait people to grab me. Like if I'm rolling with someone and they're like really disengaging because they don't want me to get a hold of them, I'll just like.
I do too, but it's like. If you and I were rolling and I had you like what would you call if I have you like in side control, but you're facing away on your side? What would you call that?
The wrong way?
Yeah, the wrong way. I mean, side control, I guess.
Yeah, it's still
it's
side
like half
control.
the back, half side control.
Yeah.
If you're in that position and you do this, I'm gonna try to arm lock the fuck out of you.
Yeah. You're leaving your arm out there.
Yeah. And maybe you come on top.
Yeah.
Maybe I get that arm lock.
Well, that's like when people are like pushing off of you, like you're like, dude, you're just giving me your arm.
When people do that to me, I stop them. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. I'll break your shit from here.
Well, I mean, that's your point. Depending on who you're rolling with,
it's
kind of like...
Yeah, I'm not doing it to like Misa or Ismail. I'm doing it to like the
they're not going to do that to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was showing someone today, and I was like, dude, anytime you do this,
you
there's an arm lock there.
Yeah.
You could go straight arm lock, the one where you twist it, like...
Behind the arm.
The arm, you got all that. So I was like, I should be like this the whole... Because I was doing this to... One of the kids, I was rolling with him, and I literally put my arm out like this. And he was like... and I was like,
take the fucking arm.
I was literally started wiggling my hand like this, and I was like, hey man, stop. What are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, dude, there's an arm lock right here. And then he did it. Then we were rolling again, and I got into a position where like I'm passing him from the half, and I put my hand on his shoulder like this. And he starts doing other shit, and I was like, hey,
you have an arm lock.
You have an arm lock.
Yeah, but they don't. I don't know if it's you wipe out or what, but they don't see those things yet.
That's what I was trying.
They're not there yet.
That's what I was trying to point out is the fact that there is something there, right? I learned that shit early on because Jonah used to catch that arm lock.
Oh yeah, he always.
Dude, he would pull guard into it.
He's really good at because it seems like you just grab it, but no, you have to have
There's a technique
your arm on the elbow and like,
and
he's really good at catching it perfectly.
Man, it had been. Probably since I was a white belt. So 3 years since he caught me with that. Last time I rolled him, he caught it twice in a row. He went back to it. So like, if you grab his collar, because Jonah's Jonah's shorter than you too, right?
Yeah.
So if you grab Jonah's collar, you have to put your hand downwards to not grab on his shoulder. You know what I mean?
I normally grab like I put a
twist,
like band in,
because
because otherwise he'll catch that shit.
So like if I'll grab his collar because I'm trying to get deep to try to work the hip movement. So like I'm grabbing. And he would just sit down into it. Literally just sit down into that arm lock. Dude, he caught me dude, he hasn't caught me with that since I was a white belt. And I was like, oh, he still got it. He still fucking has it.
Yeah, I rolled with Mr. 1000 yesterday.
I heard your wrist locked in.
Yeah, I tried to. I almost had it, and then I caught it, and I felt his hand go like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, it's done. And then but as I started applying pressure, it like slipped out.
Oh.
But it was like, it was there, and I felt it. And I was like, God damn it.
And he was like, oh, that's close.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. Because
I felt today, Playboy?
I felt it. I felt like he was like stiff, and then all of a sudden it went like, you know how it goes pop, and it just slips down that way, and you're like, it's game over.
Yeah.
You know? But when I went for it, it slipped out, and I was like, fuck.
You were going two hands, right?
Yeah, two hands. Yeah.
Dude, 2 hands on it. It's today that white belt that I arm locked. He did that to me. That's why I took the arm. But before I took his arm, my chest was on his elbow. And I was like, you're too big not to wrist lock, motherfucker. And I was just like, I was trying to wrist lock him. Then like, dude, I had that shit. And I was like, man, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I see that a lot with the white belts is like they give you wrist locks like left and right. If they're like one stripe, two stripe, I usually don't even mention it. But once they once they're like 3 or 4 stripe, I'm like, hey.
Yeah, three, you're getting it. They're coming hard.
I was like, you need to like pay attention to these because these are everywhere. You're gonna start and you're just giving it away, you know. And not a lot of people go for wrist locks at our gym though. So
I feel like all the main dudes do.
I've never been.
Leo would wrist lock everyone. Louis wrist locks a motherfucker. Fucking Big Danny wrist locks like a motherfucker.
I've never had him wrist lock me.
Dude, when I try to play the half guard on him, almost every time he staples my arm.
What's his name? You mentioned it. Ismail.
Cody? Yeah. Ismail.
But you know what? Ismail will he'll just grab your wrist and then he just...
Yeah.
And he does it. And I'm like, fuck, I can't even, like, fight it. Like,
that's that goon shit.
Yeah,
that's the good shit right there. So, like, dude, all the main dudes, we're all high... Everyone's purple belts now, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking wrist locks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get wrist locked a lot, so...
I mean, I talk about it every podcast, but I was born in that shit. Literally, my first roll of pops, he fucking wrist locked me.
Yeah.
I was 3 days into it. Might have been my first day.
My favorite wrist locks are when you're like in a bad position.
Yeah.
And you catch the wrist lock from there because then it's like they're like fuck.
That's funny. So do you follow Mason Fowler?
Yeah.
Do you see what he posted yesterday about the escapes from the back? So I do 3. I even commented. I was like, dude, I feel like I know about jiu-jitsu because I do 3 of those exact escapes. And one of them, you were coaching me at World League when that dude kind of he had his hook over, but not the bottom hook. I was defending his hook, and he put his arm out, and you're all, wrist lock him. And right when you said that, I was going to that transition, and I wrist locked that dude so much that he moved, and I was able to come on top. And it's like that wrist lock from the back, it's always there, because especially like if they have a hook over and you're defending that bottom hook, they're usually on their side. And if you're on your side, your elbow's on your side. So I had his elbow pinned, and I was just like, and that's how I got out of the back. That's such a good back escape.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that.
Well, for me, a lot of times the wrist locks are not necessarily to finish, but to create a scramble, to get to a better position. So, I mean, if you're in a position where you're like
finish it,
where you're fully controlled and you can finish it, great. But a lot of the times when I throw wrist locks, it's really to make that scramble, to either make them make a mistake, make them like panic and move, and then I can get to a better position.
Well, it changes the thought from attack to defend.
Yeah.
So like
their mindset, and it's not just defend. It's like fuck. It's like I got to get out of this, like whatever, because you're gonna be like if you get caught in a good wrist lock, you're gonna like give up your back to get out of the wrist lock, or you're just gonna give up the position to not get your wrist fucked up.
I think probably to me. I got 2 really good compliments. One of them, the best compliment I ever got was from Nick. And Nick's like, dude, like when we first, like after we had the feeling out period with each other when he first came, when we started kind of being more aggressive with each other, he was like, dude, you throw wrist locks and arm locks like jabs. And I was like, because dude, he's so good from everywhere. It's like,
to make him move.
I got to hit him with some hot shit or some tricky shit. I think that's what happens when you get better. When you progress through blue belt, the end of your blue belt, you know all the basic positions, right? Then as you get into purple belt, you start to define things. But then you start to work on the sneaky shit. The shit that gets you out of bad positions. Because, like, if you're beating me standing up or if you're, like, ragdolling me standing up, I'm going to go for the wrist lock on the collar, right? And then if that doesn't work, a lot of times you'll go wrist lock on the collar and people will slip their hand downwards. And then I go for that mirror lock. So I'm doing whatever I can to get you to misstep. And then I can try to hit that single or try to, something like that.
Yeah, try to get them not off balance, but to
stop
get out of
thinking
their game.
I mean, you and I have been in wars where we're full blast trying to fucking wrist lock each other, and we're like spinning in circles.
Yeah.
But you have to, because if I have that wrist lock and I rotate and you don't, I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
And like best case scenario, they sit down. Worst case scenario, you spin. But then,
I feel like there's also like a foot sweep there too.
100%.
100%. Get them spinning.
That's how I try to get it. Because like I'll try to go here, right? So I'm on the arm, and I'll try to bend your wrist and circle behind you, so that I'm kind of holding you in place, and I'm circling behind you, try to just, I'm the ambassador of judo. Sasai, hit a fucking, Sasai Komiyoshi or whatever, fucking, basically kick your foot out from under you. It's hard to hit. It's all about timing.
Roger was fucking on one yesterday, dude.
He was 1000?
Yeah, he was going for throws and sweeps and fucking, he kept fucking dropping me down. I was like, God damn it. It was a battle,
he has to, dude. I mean, he's probably equally as strong as you.
He's like,
but he's smaller.
He's 150. That's what we were talking about before. Is like everyone in our gym is pretty big. Most of the guys in our gym are really big.
Strong, dude.
Oh yeah. And but he's really technical too. He's really good. His jiu-jitsu is really good.
Hey,
I love now like that we've been there longer.
Yep.
and I can see like everyone's game has changed and evolved, and how good people have gotten, which is fucking awesome to see. Is how good people are getting, and then you see new people come in, like new blue belts, and you watch like those guys that you were blue belts with us go against them and just fucking annihilate blue belts, and it's like, man, that seeing everyone's progression is like. It's awesome to see everyone getting better like that.
It's funny because I mean I'm sure you remember the panic days of white belt when you get a color you get an upper colored belt like a blue or a purple or a brown belt.
Fuck.
And you're just like fuck, and I hope those motherfuckers look at us like that.
I'm sure they do. Like I said, that one dude was like, it's been a while since I beat you up, or since I beat him up. So they I'm sure they like get that. But I try like a lot of what I've been doing is like getting to bad positions and trying to get out of it. And trying to work
that's my whole game.
So I know. Well, my top game is really good.
I think that's what I was trying to explain. Like you don't ever put yourself in a bad position. The half guard is a bad position.
Unless you're good at it.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm always in a bad position until I'm not. I'm like, ha!
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've been doing that lately. Is trying to like work on escapes and work on like getting out of the bottom. Even with some of the white belts, it's hard because they're big as fuck, and it's like
strong too.
Yeah, they're strong. They're big. They're heavy. So like you really have to like use strength sometimes to like get out of like to get the frame and make space and stuff like that. So
you know it's a real funny one that works on the lower belt. It works really well in judo too, but like it works on the lower belts really good. That I've actually caught a couple upper belts with it, but. It's like a dummy version of the octopus sweep because I can't think of all the octopus moves, but it's the same basic thing. So sometimes, like if people are mounting me, or they're like half guard where I'm turned away, like I'm turned the wrong way, what I'll do is literally sit up and start to rotate my back towards them, so they have more of my back, and I post out with my hands. So like, let's say you're on top of me, and I rotate away, and you start to collect my back, right? So you're already off balance. I'll post my hand and then take my free hand, go around and try to grab their hip. So that's like the basis of the octopus sweep is that the grabbing the hip backwards, dude. That shit works so good because like you'll post out and you'll grab the hip, and you'll either get stuck, but if you can pop your hip away, you're out. Like you reach around, you pop your hip away, and they roll over, dude. It's crazy how good it works.
There's two side control escapes that I've been working on. One I can usually hit even on higher level guys, unless it's Kyle, and it's where
Kyle don't count.
Where you block the leg. If I can, I'll try to
from where to start. Say it again.
From bottom side control. I'll block the leg on this arm, and then I'll try to like with my right leg. I'll try to like push their legs together so that they're a little closer. And then with this, my left leg, you kind of like bring it. You try to like bring it as close to you as you can, and then you basically cross face, and then you jump. And it like flips over and it puts you on top. So that one works really well. The new one that I've been working on.
Hold on, you catch on anybody heavy?
Kind of.
I've seen you catch a lot of light people.
I've caught a few heavy people with it, but it's like those guys you have to do 100% fucking go out.
The cool thing about that particular sweep is it looks really jiu-jitsu-y.
Yeah.
It looks like
it looks flashy.
It looks like you know.
Yeah, it looks flashy because you're kind of doing this weird like reverse.
And then you're on top with a little shit in the grin. You're all ha.
Well, like I did it twice on Misa. The first time it didn't work, and then the time I got it to work when I flipped over because he's strong as fuck and he was trying to push me back. What I did is I put my head when I flipped over. I put my head on the mat and used it to base off like the back, so that as he tried to push me back, my head was pushing like basing off, and that I was able to finish it that time. But I tried it twice. The first one didn't work, and then I was able to get it on it. But then the other one is a new one. I had tried this a long time ago. It's the one I first seen. It's like you go under the frame under the collar, and then you grab your because usually their hands, they're trying to shoulder pressure or whatever, and then you grab your hand and you go underneath their hip, and then you flip them this way. I could never get it to work, and then I recently saw a video, and it's similar to what Leo showed me one time. If someone's passing your guard. And they're going to pass your guard, and you can grab their hand and you stuff it down. Yeah. You reach over, grab their lat, and then you basically go north-south and it flips them over. So it's like that, where their hand's behind your head, you reach over, you grab their lat, and then instead of like connecting, you just shove your elbow into their hip, and then you do the same motion. And I've been working on that, and it's been working pretty well too.
You have to show me that. That seems like it's in my wheelhouse.
It's much more simpler than the other way, and it works really well because they don't expect it, and all of a sudden they're like,
I have the magic
to
escaping side control. Nobody holds me in side control. Do you know why?
Why?
I guarantee you can't even hold me in side control.
Why?
You let the motherfuckers mount you.
Oh, I don't go for mount.
Yeah, you go north-south.
I go north-south.
Yeah. You're the only person.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't even play side control. Yeah. That is the trick to side control.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to get out.
Yeah.
Let that motherfucker mount you. Then it's a different game.
Yeah, mounting, I think, well, it depends on who's mounting.
The only people I don't want to mount me are Luke and Kyle.
Kyle will suffocate you.
I mean, Luke will break you.
I panic, or even Misa.
I don't mind Misa's mount.
When
you don't want him on your back and mount, like belly down. Yeah. That's where you don't want Misa.
When Kyle mounts, it's like my thought process is panic to get to my side.
Yeah,
and fucking
of course.
Just at least get to my side because otherwise he'll just suffocate you.
Was it you telling me that the pray shit is bullshit?
The what?
The praying was bullshit.
The praying?
You have to pray, and someone told you. I told you that. They're like, "Oh, thank you for telling me about praying." You're like, "That shit don't work." For sure, you told me this. So I was telling.
But I would never do that.
Yeah, because like someone mounts you, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't do anything if your arms are at your side.
Yeah, I frame off the hips.
Yeah, but how do you get there?
What do you mean? I just put my hand on the hip and I frame.
I do it the old school way.
Well, it's just, you end up in the same position.
Yeah, So, but you start by praying. But there's two things, because if they're chest down mount, you got to worry about getting choked, right? Like Ezekiel or whatever.
Yeah.
You block the Ezekiel, you block the cross collar, right? So that's why they say you pray. Mm-hmm. So you can block it. You can do the other people call this Dracula. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
So it's the same idea as a Dracula. So you're here, but as soon as you feel, it's easier for me, except for like Kyle because he's so long. But it's easy for me once I start rotating my hips. People's knees come off the ground because of how thick I am. So I can't mount you. I have to go technical mount. Same thing. So as soon as I roll like this, and I have the first thought is tucking my elbows, right? Yeah. But just naturally I go to the praying position or that Dracula position, right? So I'm here and I start to rotate my hips, and I prefer my left side. So what I do is I'll go like a real heavy rotate to my left side, and as soon as I start to rotate, you feel the opposite knee getting light. As soon as I feel that, it's push the hips, throw my cheeks out.
Yeah.
As hard as I can, right?
Space.
And then when I do that,
you bring your knee in.
I don't go to the back to the guard. Mm-hmm. So when I do that, people tend to base. I collect that knee and I go to the half guard.
Yeah.
In one movement. So it's like a 3-step movement. It's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the fundamental, like getting there. Yeah.
And but that was the joke, is like literally let people mount me, because I know 80% of people that mount me, that's where I'm getting to afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that's
you can get back to the half guard. Yeah.
And it's back to the half guard where I want to be anyway. Mm-hmm. But side control, dude, is so hard to escape.
Yeah. Well, if the person is really good
at Yeah. Obviously, white belts, you're just going to push them. But
yeah.
Like, my other escape for side control is like, I don't really have the mobility. I'm just fucking fat and old, and I'm the stiffest person on earth. So, like, I don't have the mobility to bring my knee in and then hook around for the guard. Very rarely I do that. So what I'll like to do is I'll like to like hip into them and like try to leverage my knee in there and spin the opposite way. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when I spin, like I go from knee in to knee all the way around, and a lot of times that gives me enough space to bring my legs in and then go back to the half guard. That's the only thing that works for me for side control.
I just hate side control, so I've been letting people get there to try to work on that.
I probably shouldn't give away my secret to side control.
You know, one of the other things, and Jay is the one that showed me this.
Yeah, fuck Jay.
It's helped me when I'm in, like, when you're in a shitty position. A lot of people, and even I think. Who was it? Hickson talked about this, and a lot of people talk about this now. But it's one of the biggest things that's helped me. You know, when you're in a bad position and you're like all you can do is like breathe and survive.
Yeah.
Is not breathing into your chest and breathing into your diaphragm, because they're crushing your chest. And if you breathe into your chest, you're not going to get any air.
Yeah.
But if you breathe into your diaphragm, you can continue to breathe. Because I've been in so many positions where, like, my chest is completely compressed, and so if I try to breathe, I can't breathe. But then if I focus and I'm like, all right, breathe into your diaphragm, you can still capture all that oxygen, and it's like, okay, I can fucking breathe. I can breathe. Like, I'm good. That's probably been the biggest game changer to help me survive like really bad positions is being able to do that.
I'm gonna have to say it again, but you have to be comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So like People are cross-facing me. I mean, it doesn't feel good, but I just take a second.
Cross-facing doesn't. It's not one of those things where I feel.
You ever let Luke cross-face you?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I don't let him. He does it when
the cross-face combined with that shoulder pressure.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's not for me. That's not super uncomfortable. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so used to it now.
For me, like, the pain from a cross-face across your face is not as bad as, from my perspective, at least for me, like. Pressure on my chest and like being suffocated in that sense.
Yeah,
that's worse for me.
That's funny because I don't get the chest pressure. So what happens to me is the crossface turns into the shoulder.
Yeah,
and that's when it's bothersome to me. You know what I mean?
It hurts, but it's for me. I'm like, it's just pain. And then
I know,
and I forget about it.
Fuck the crossface. I'm just gonna sit on the
chest. It's the pressure that I'm like. That's where I have to focus on. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Going back to side control real quick. I shouldn't give away my secret, but. We were talking about, I think it may have been before we started, but I was talking about giving my arm up to people. So I do the same thing for side control to get people to mount me. So like when people pass a side control, I try to go, do you know what Sanji Ribeiro calls a diamond guard? Mm-mm. It's just the knee to elbow connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he calls it a diamond guard. So if you do this in a tournament, that doesn't count as a pass. You know that?
If you're framed underneath them?
No. Well, kind of. So, like, let's say you're passing, right?
Like they're in side control.
Yeah, and you're going to pass, and I'm like this, knee to elbow. That doesn't count as a pass.
Yeah.
You have to have your knee inside.
Because you're not in control.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, diamond guard. So, technically, I guess, like, for like 12 years, his guard never got passed in competition because of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the basic escapes is when you're in side control here, and then you can frame off and push.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I'll go to, like, diamond guard, and I'll put my knee on my elbow on my side, and I'm basically just laying there. But when I do that, it feels like to me, people are like, oh, he's defending the mount. He's defending the mount. He's defending the mount. So when I put my leg down, people mount me. Mm-hmm. So it's like the same thing. It's like when you're trying to like do something and they're defending it, like people go for it more. Like when I try to bow and arrow people and they start defending it, I just try to bully through it.
So when I go to mount, I don't stay in your standard mount. I go to high mount.
That's me too.
Because I feel I have more control there, and then they can't when they buck their hips and try to it's not going to do anything because I'm at high mount. Yeah. So the only people that I have problems with are like Trevor and Kyle, people that can bring their fucking feet back up and catch my arms or catch my.
Yeah.
You know, one time I was rolling with Trevor and I got mount and I went to high mount and he fucking grabbed the back of my belt, pushed it up, put his feet in my belt, and then pulled me off. I was like, son of a bitch.
Well, you know who's really good at that is Jonathan.
Yeah, they're super flexible.
Dude, he triangled me like that one time. He like threw his shit up and he pulled me off of him and triangled me.
Yeah.
But you know who? Fucking shout out to the fucking Devastator, motherfucking Devin. So Devin showed that escape from north south. So you go north south with someone, Devin will wrap his hands under your belt, throw his feet up, and leverage you over. Like he grabs your belt. I'm trying to think of how he showed me this. He grabs your belt, like under your belt, like palms up, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, I don't know if you guys could tell if you remember when we had Devin on. That motherfucker's big dog. Dude. That's a big boy. But he grabs under your belt and he basically bends in half and he hooks like his feet. He hooks something with his feet and he just wrenches you over. It is wild.
Yeah, that'd be crazy to see someone so big do that.
Devin is not a small person.
Yeah. Oh, that's like. Cody,
that's a big boy.
Kind of Cody. He's
Cody does that kind of shit.
Yeah. He moves like a lightweight.
Yeah.
For being so big, it's like watching Cody roll is like, God damn, bro.
Dude, I was today when I was going to class. I was going to call you before I go to class to have an excuse not to go. And I was like, I hope that motherfucker Cody's not there.
He doesn't always go on Saturdays, I think.
Every Saturday I go, he's there.
Last Saturday, me and Misa went. I was like. There was a lot of people. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, there was like 10, 12 people there today. Maybe
we had more than that. I was like, damn. I was like, Saturday's like this now? And he's like, no, normally it's not like this. But there was a lot of people. I was like.
Saturdays used to be hit and miss because like probably up until I was like a 2 or 3 stripe blue belt, I went every Saturday. Because I would go, I was going every day but Thursday. And then, just shit happens. I think that's one of the things I wanted to talk about last week when I said I'd jump on, but you fucking rudely had me on.
You were sick?
Yeah.
I was sick.
Was like, you talk to people who've been training for a long time, and then they'll say, yeah, I got to my purple belt, and then injuries started adding up. Because I hurt my knee once, But I trained. I only took like 3 or 4 days off, and I started training again because I was so addicted to it. I mean, I still am, but I was so like, I got to be there. I got to be there. Now it's like, it's not big injuries. It's little nagging ones that keep you off the mats. Like, it's funny because last Wednesday because before I was sick, so I went to judo on Wednesday. That's for sure where I got sick at. Thursday, I'm trying not to train at all anymore. And then I was like, okay, I was getting ready to go Friday, and dude, my neck was fucking killing me, and I was like, I can't go. And then like Friday morning, I started getting sick too. Mm-hmm. So it was like, and like my neck is still bothering me, but I'm kind of almost thankful that I got sick because, dude, my neck was really bothering me, and my neck and my Achilles. But now I took those 9 days off. I feel pretty good. Like my neck's bothering me a little bit, but I'm like, I'm ready to rip. And like my Achilles isn't so inflamed. Like I looked it up just based on WebMD. I have like probably like a tendonitis in my Achilles from rotating probably so much on it. But now it's like, dude, taking that time off helps.
It can help,
It can help.
All those little things will kind of start to feel better.
Yeah, but now I understand why you talk to dudes who quit at purple belt or quit at brown belt. Because like all these little fucking bullshit nagging injuries, and then life comes in, and then you buy Escape from Tarkov, and fucking you just don't want to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can understand why people quit, but at the same time, like,
that ain't me, Playboy.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to keep going. Like,
what do you say? Not around here, partner.
Not around here, partner.
Yeah,
we ain't quitting. I'm still like, I'm just so into it still, like, and I want to get better. I want to learn more. I want to, like I said, watching everyone's game progress, and I'm like, man, I hope I fucking look like that. You know, when I roll with someone, like, I hope someone, like when I was watching Misa, I was like, man, I was like super impressed. I was like, damn, man, this fucking game is fucking legit.
You know what I want to do? 100% legit, no bullshit. I don't want to hear anything afterwards. Pass Kyle's guard. That's my goal. I don't.
You mean him not let you pass his guard?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've never passed.
Like,
his guard.
I passed it, but he let me fucking pass it.
Because one time I passed his guard and I cross-faced the fuck out of him. I was like, fuck this. Like, all the anger came out. And then I was like, oh, fuck, he let me pass his guard. Then I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Because I was like, ah! And then I was like, I'm going to fuck this fool up. He's in my world now. Then I was like, oh, he let me. I can't.
He's just so good, dude. Like, but I appreciate every time I roll with him because I always get smashed, but I always learn something from rolling with him. You know, whether it's a technique or it's just surviving a little bit better from a specific position or something like that.
So I would like to pass Kyle's guard, like legit, no bullshit, and I would like to make it through a round with Roger Ruiz. I don't care what happens in that round.
Just not survive. Tap. Yeah.
Because I've passed Roger's guard. Like, I feel like maybe legitimately past Roger's guard. That motherfucker don't care. He's like, go ahead, pass that shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to break your ass off from anywhere you are.
He's so good, too. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, one time I thought I took him down. This happened, this day it happened like 5 times in a row. I was fucking with him, trying to wrist lock him, doing all this, and I was going hard. Like, and then like he like sat down. I was like, oh shit, I made him sit down. Dude, he did this shit where he like Kimura'd me while he was sitting and I was standing. He did it like 3 times in a row. I was like, so you didn't do that on accident? He was like, nah. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, but that's where they talk about levels, man. There's some people are just
dude,
so
and he's getting better.
Good. Yeah, I'm sure.
Because he's just because now he's got his own school. He's teaching. Ruiz Grappling Academy, Menifee, California.
Refining all his little things and getting better. I can only imagine.
Dude.
And now he's training probably way more than he was before because he has to run the school.
But he's also thinking about the techniques rather than just breaking motherfuckers off.
Yeah. I think teaching is I think teaching is really instrumental to your game if you can get to that point where you teach, because you start teaching the little techniques, the little things, and then it like builds like a muscle memory. So like when you're in the midst of it, you're in there. You're like, oh, grab here, do, and you don't have to think about it because you're just constantly repeating it. So I think teaching is probably, from a perspective of getting better, it's huge.
Yeah, I think too the muscle memory thing, like that triggers something that happened to me today. So we don't do it so much anymore. We used to do it a little bit back in the day, but in judo they do it every warm up. They do the egg beaters with your legs. Mm-hmm. And every time I do, I'm like, dude, this shit is stupid as fuck. Why would you do this? Is dumb.
Yeah, it's when someone's standing and you just fucking. Yeah.
So today, Trevor was showing just different things from De La Riva sweeps, and he was like, hey, you don't have to do these sweeps. These are just like the idea of what you can do from here. So I was with fucking the King White Belt, Molly Mall. You know that motherfucker? Mm-hmm. Malachi?
Oh yeah. He's a savage. He's getting good, man.
I think the last podcast I did with you, I told he fucking. I tried to fucking Uchimata him.
Really good.
He Uchimata me. Like I was in on it too, and I was like, "Fuck this white belt." Then I was like, "Why am I flying?" But I was doing technique with him today, and I was just showing him what you could do because I was like, "Watch, kill my foot, the knee foot." You know, when I'm pushing his knee, and then I pummeled my knee in and I lifted him for like the waiter sweep, and then I went back and I pushed him back and forth, and finally he just fell. And I was like, "See, that's what leg." And I was like, "Dude, egg beaters."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, plus it works like your hips and stuff,
knee,
so that you're because
yeah.
that's a tire. Like when you're fighting someone like that, dude, it's tiring. Your legs start to legit burn.
Yeah.
You know, for moving.
Yeah.
And then if you ever watch people, like people that have really good guard retention from there, their legs don't stop moving.
That's my
They're
wife
constantly
is.
hooking and bringing it in and like hooking behind the leg and like you're constantly doing it. And the people that on top that win are the ones that can keep
kill that.
Yeah, can keep pressuring until they're tired, and it's like boom.
Like the way that Taliesin showed, where you like tangle the legs up. Did he have a name? Did he have a name? Leg weave pass? Was there a name for that?
I don't know.
Because you said you've been doing it, right?
Yeah, that's where you
like a leg drag.
Yeah, it's kind of a leg drag, and you bring it across your hip. That is fucking
that's
awesome.
that's how you stop the people from pummeling. My wife does a lot of the waiter sweep, but the leg pummeling, because my wife can probably put her knee on her face.
That's crazy.
She's super flexible,
Yeah.
so like she can do like all that weird shit. But it's funny, you know, going back to being the ambassador of judo, and what we should bring back over is that style of warm up, because in that warm up, the first thing they do is bicycle kicks. And you're like, why are we fucking, this is stupid as shit. But the way they want you to do it is they want you to drag your heels on the ground and then lift up. Drag your heels on the ground and lift up. And then the same thing back, they do it forwards and backwards. And they do the egg beaters. And just fucking around with Malachi today, dude, like the way I was able to pummel my legs, because, you know, I've done it a ton of times now, and they do it for like a minute each. It's wild, dude. So like you're doing it, it's like, oh, dude, I can just do this shit almost all day right now.
And
like,
it
dude,
keeps them from passing.
And like transitioning from like whipping your feet in to pushing your feet on the ground and pushing up, because like you can catch the heels and push them. Dude, it's a really good warm up. I know a lot of jiu-jitsu schools do that, but I mean we should bring that back to our school. And just like how, and again, I was showing one of the white belt kids today. He was rolling with his dad. His dad was kind of breaking his ass off, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? 2 and 2 hip escape. And I was like, hey, those aren't warm-ups.
That's I was gonna say is a lot of like we just do them as warm-ups, but
they should be explained.
Yeah, but they're not explained. Like this is an actual technique.
Yeah,
like hip escapes and shrimping and like reverse shrimping and like you're saying, the egg beater thing. Like those are all like, it's like Karate Kid, you know, wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Like he's like, why the fuck am I learning this? And
defending.
he's like, it's that type, but for jiu-jitsu where you're like, why am I learning this? And then you're like, oh, this is fucking, it's actual technique, but it's just not explained.
It's so important. It's so, and then like, even wax on, wax off. That's how you break fucking grips. And that's how you get a grip. You break a grip, you get a grip. You break a grip, you get a grip. You know what I mean?
But it's in that realm of like that where you like, you know, they don't understand. They're like, oh, this is a technique. I can use it for different functions or whatever. Yeah.
And the same thing as judo too. They do that. They call it a bridge or like a reverse hip escape. Have I ever showed you that? Like where you kind of dig down, you throw your hands up, and you go forward like this. Did I ever show you that? So it's think about a hip escape where you go, you bring your foot up and you push, right? It's that same way, but you're pulling yourself forward and they want you to throw your hips in the air. So have you ever done the bridge exercise?
Yeah.
So it's like doing that, but you throw yourself. So instead of just like pointing, you scoop and you like force yourself forward. I thought about it. I was like, why would they do this? It's like doesn't make sense, dude. That's how you can get out of side control.
Yeah, side control.
And then it gives you
That's how a lot of
muscle
time
movement of exploding.
If I'm, that's what I use when I'm in mount. If they go like S mount, if I can get them to go to S mount, and there's enough space on that leg, I'll get my arm in there, and I can't do it here. I got to get it deep enough to where it's here, so then I can like come out the back like that. And that if I can get that, I already know like I'm getting out. Like if my arm's in there,
you're getting out.
I'm getting out.
Yeah, like, Leo showed me that. And then, so the same thing, like, so that's where I really like that, like, octopus-ish sweep, is from people go S-mount, and I have the space to go like this, and I'll shoot my hand across, and then around as hard as I can like that.
Have you seen Craig Jones did a video on escaping a triangle choke?
No, but that's who the octopus guard's from, if you don't know that.
Yeah. But he did a escape from the triangle choke where he, like, shoots his arm out like this and turns, almost giving away the back. To make space and break that arm open, and then he turns around and comes back into it.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because there's a lot of ways to escape that, but that one seems like the simplest.
I like 2 or 3 that I've seen a lot. I like the one that Omar shows where you kind of stand up and you put your feet forward. I really like that escape. I can't do it the way that Omar shows it. I'm not flexible enough. But what I'll do is I'll try to come up to my knees and really posture up and try to grab the leg and like whip my legs around. Instead of trying to stand up and sit down, I'll just whip my legs around so I'm falling backwards, pushing. I like that one. I think it was Henzo I saw do this. Henzo shows to get deeper into the triangle. So you kind of posture up and the same kind of thing. You give your arm, but when you give your arm, you try to put your arm on the ground next to their head. And when you do that, it does some weird like angle shit with your body and you slip out. Mm-hmm. That's the basis of how I use, if I can get out of a triangle.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. And then again, just come around. I did it on that white belt dude today. Same shit. Like I was fucking around with him and like he like legit caught me in a triangle. And I was like, oh shit, this is tight. And I kind of panicked for a second. I was like, oh, he don't know how to finish this. So I fucking shot my shit forward and I came around and just crushed him from there. But I like that movement of shooting your arm forward. You're either going to get arm locked or you're going to get out.
Yeah.
You got a 50-50 there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. This week's been good. I've been training, pretty much trained all week. I didn't go Monday.
That's not all week. Did you go Thursday?
No.
That's not all week,
Hey,
Playboy.
fuck you. It's all week
That's
for
3
me.
days.
It's all week for me.
No, you usually train 4 days a week. That's less. What, were we playing Tarkov?
Yeah, I was going to go today.
Were you playing Tarkov too?
No, definitely not playing Tarkov.
Hit me up on fucking Escape from Tarkov. I'm trying to get down. I need some raid friends, homie.
Yeah, I've been playing CSGO a lot because it's a game where I can just jump in, play for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Do you play it with a computer or with people?
With people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only ever played like the computer version, where you play with it's all AI.
No, I play with people, but like it's a game where I can get in, play 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, all right, cool.
I hate how you can't aim in that fucking game.
What do you mean you can't aim?
You can't like zoom in.
On certain weapons, you have to have the right weapon.
Oh, okay.
Some weapons have scopes, but yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah.
It's so like old school-ish.
Yeah, I remember not when it first came out, but the first time I heard of it, my buddy had a dot on his screen.
Yeah. Well, so, you have reticles on there. Sometimes my monitors have it built in, so I can like turn it on.
Oh, that's cool.
So sometimes I'll use that, but because the game has a lot of recoil, it's not always. Yeah. The dot is in this middle, but your actual shots are kind of going everywhere. So I've been trying to without it, but I've been playing a lot of that.
I got one more thing to talk about real quick.
What's that?
So it happened last week or the week before, but Philippe Andrew got a USADA ban, tested positive, so they took away his PANs from this year because he tested positive at PANs is what I think it was. We need to stop testing. There's no fucking reason for it.
Yeah, he got
Clomifene.
Clomid.
Is that like legit?
Same thing. Yeah.
I don't know what that one is.
So Clomid that's not the steroid itself.
It's a blocker, right?
Clomid is what you use to kickstart your natural production. So let's say
once you get off test.
Yeah, so once you get off test, your body isn't making anything, and so you take Clomid, and Clomid kickstarts your testosterone building again, and so it's obvious like he was on test. And then
why would he transition off test? You can't test for it.
Yes, you can.
Okay, if you're over 1400.
No, when you when you're on test, your body stops producing. It's like LHF and FSH, and so when you're not naturally producing, those drop. So if they don't see that in your system, even if you're taking, let's say they test you and your test levels are like 700, or 800, or even at the high,
the real number they should be at.
Yeah, the normal. Yeah, exactly.
Not 2000.
Yeah. So but your FSH and your LSH will drop to 0. So if your numbers are fine, but then they look at your 0, it's like, oh, you're on something. Like it's not natural.
We just need to stop testing in jiu-jitsu. That's stupid to fucking ban one of the best dudes in the sport for fucking. So you're
now he went with was it
AOJ?
No, but he went to a different tournament. He's competing in.
He just did Polaris.
Polaris, yeah,
that was
Polaris.
last week. I'm pretty sure he won. But so like, you're forcing. This is where IBJJF is fucking up. They're forcing guys to either fight for free for the prestige or fight for money.
Yeah.
Which one are you picking?
Yeah, money.
IBJJF is going to lose. This is what I think is going to happen. Dudes are going to compete super hard to win a Worlds once. And then just
have an accolade.
There's no reason to be a 10-time world champion anymore. Now it's on the accolade. Let's go pad my resume. I won BJJ Stars. I won Polaris. I won fucking ADCC Open. I won all these things where they don't
everyone
test.
that lets you
because all those things turn into money.
Yeah.
The only way a Worlds turns into money is maybe you get an instructional on BJJ Fanatics or you open a school or a seminar.
Yeah.
More than likely a school because you got to be popping to get a seminar. Like I don't think Philippe Andrew does seminars. He's a 2 or 3-time world champion, like a 5-time Pan champion, 4 or 5-time Euro champion. I don't think he does seminars.
I don't think so.
He's fighting for money. Mm-hmm. So why the fuck is he going to go do the UFC or do IBJJF where he gets tested and possibly banned?
And it doesn't make anything.
For no money.
What does he make, like $5,000 if you win Worlds or something like
that?
Dude,
no. I think they only give money for the Brasileiros.
It's crazy.
The Brasileiros and like the crown and shit. So I think he won like $20,000 when he won the crown or whatever, but it's like, for what?
For all the work and the money he put into training and all that stuff, it's not enough.
Dude, like you said, seminars, he could go win 80. I mean, now that he got second place at CJI, dude, he could do seminars everywhere for $5,000.
Yeah.
He can make $20,000 in 3 days. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he could probably do them for $20,000, but an easy entry is $5,000. You know what I mean? $5,000 a seminar, it's easy money for him, and he could just show what
beyond. I'll say this too. Outside of tests making you stronger, tests, doing those kind of things, it's also really good for athletes who are constantly under pressure, constantly training, recovery, the healing aspect, because it is a very demanding sport, especially at that level. Like, you're getting hurt all the time.
Let's be real about it. Test and even Tren or DECA, they don't make you stronger. They give you the ability to heal so you can make yourself stronger.
Right. You have to put in the work.
You have to put in the work.
100%.
You are going to gain a little bit of muscle density from test. You're going to feel a little bit stronger, but that's mental.
Yeah, but
you don't get bigger.
Yeah, you can't just take it and not do anything. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But I think for this sport in particular, it's not like baseball.
Well, there's 4 months off a year.
You take tests, you take all the steroids in baseball, and all you're doing is hitting a fucking ball, but you're knocking it out the fucking park. Yeah. But your chance of injury is much lower.
Bring back steroids in baseball. Bring back steroids in IBJJF. Or put them in there. Bring them back because everyone used to be on steroids. Take away steroids from football and fighting. That's it. Mm-hmm. There should be steroids in basketball. I'm trying to see motherfuckers hit full court shots. I'm trying to see fucking Mark McGuire hit a ball out of the motherfucking stadium.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to see some fucking dude who's already an elite athlete on all the shit pop someone's head off in football.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not trying to see because there's no guaranteed contracts.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to see TRT Vitor knock someone's eyeball off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, give me all the steroids.
Yeah.
The Olympics, steroids.
Or at least allow things like, I think they banned like BCP and like things that help people recover. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Why are they taking away steroids for the average user?
Well, those are not even steroids. Those are just peptides that help you heal.
Why are they taking any drug away from the average consumer?
Yeah, I agree.
They don't want us jacked, dog.
No. They want a controlled populace.
They don't want us...
Where's my tinfoil hat?
They
want a controlled populace.
Here's a good example of that. Back in the day in the prison systems, they used to have weights.
Yeah, they took their weights.
There's no more weights anymore because motherfuckers were getting too damn big in prison.
Off of junk food.
So you can get steroids in the pinta. Don't ask me how I know this. But you know what they do? So the dudes who get jacked, because I know a few full dudes that have been inside that came out Jack City, water bags, and they take all of their money and they buy peanut butter.
For protein. Yeah, lots of protein.
And in the pinta, they can't give you like Jiffy. Mm-hmm. It's like the organic peanut butter.
Straight up, yeah.
It's nuts that have been squished.
I was watching, did you see that video where that dude was like fucking deadlifting like some other dude? He was like, I was like, God damn, you don't want to be in prison. Be that guy, just fucking.
So the Mexicans do that. Though, like, they do squats with people on their backs and shit. The white dudes don't do that.
Yeah. Well, that's
they do the water bags and the sandbags and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll get, like, 3 or 4 bags, like trash bags or whatever, and they just fill them full of water and just fucking...
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, like, a lot of these guys from Africa. Have you seen them lifting? They're lifting, like, tires and, like, sand. And, I mean, they're fucking jacked as fuck. And they're, like, bodybuilder status on very minimal, like, equipment. It's just, like we said, they're just doing the work day in and day out. They go out there and they do the work, and the same thing,
I used to work with a personal trainer named Victor, and I mean, he lifted heavy for a while, but when I was working with him, he said he hadn't really lifted heavy in a couple years. He is the most jacked dude I've seen in my whole life, and it's all calisthenics. Mm-hmm. So I know he built a pretty good base lifting, but he kept it up by doing, he does wild shit. Like, he'll sit there and, like, roll forward into a handstand and, like, spring up. He does, like...
That's crazy.
And, dude... He is so jacked, it looks painful. Shout out to fucking Big Miguel, his brother. Mm-hmm. So, like, dude, like, He is so jacked. He looks like he's in pain all the time. It's crazy.
Damn,
he's the only
flies.
person I've ever seen like that.
That's a garage.
Yeah.
That's what I forgot. The garage is open now. There's
Yeah.
flies and shit. I'm like, God damn it.
That's all I got there.
It's finally nice out.
It's nice. Today it is.
Dude, we've had those fires.
Monday it was
nuts.
like 1 dude. Is your shipment covered in ash?
Yeah, covered
because
in
I'm a little
ash.
bit closer to
Yeah,
him.
it's covered in ash.
Dude, there's like flakes, like quarter size ones. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The one in Big Bear, I think it was some dude started it.
Yeah,
They
so
caught him.
Yeah, so there was three going on. There was Big Bear or Lake Arrowhead,
Lake Elsinore,
Mount Baldy, and Lake Elsinore.
Yeah.
I think
but they were all big. Like,
dude,
did you see the satellite pictures?
I was in Elsinore when it was popping off. The day it was popping, like I had to go deliver some shit, and the way I came back was through Elsinore, and I went to the Costco there to get a hot dog, and I was sitting outside eating the hot dog, and it's just fucking raining ash, dude.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You can see the flames from the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
I mean, at least it's not so close this time.
Yeah. To here today, yeah.
Because last time, like, it was
But
right
this
there
is
on that
not.
mountain.
This is not haze. This is smoke.
Yeah, this is smoke. Yeah, yeah.
It was really
But
bad.
last time that
Wednesday.
mountain was on fire.
Yeah.
I was like sitting here looking at it.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck. I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad on Tuesday or Wednesday, dude. I'm just trying to walk around at the shop, and I was already sick, but I could feel the
Dude,
smoke
when
coming
I
in my
went
lungs.
to class on Tuesday,
That's the other reason I didn't go.
I can taste like the ash.
Yeah,
in my
that
mouth.
was all day for like Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
all
it's
day.
like I could taste
Yeah.
it. Like I had to keep drinking water because it was like, you know, you're heavy breathing and your mouth tasted like dirt because
Yeah.
you were like just taste all the ash was coming. I was like, man, this is not good for me.
Yeah.
This is probably so bad for me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's part of California, I guess.
Yeah.
If assholes would stop fucking lighting fires, that'd be great. Anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else? Oh.
That's all I was gonna say.
So some new stuff's coming out. If you guys have caught it, we have some 40 fighting hats that are probably gonna be dropping soon. We'll put details on how to get some if you want to get one. Represent your favorite podcast.
We might just make it easy and throw it on the Black Path page. It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So like there's some new designs on the Black Path shit. I'm gonna put up a new design for a week or two. It's gonna be a fun one. So check it out. And then these hats will be up there. We're probably gonna do these hats in a couple different colors. So yeah, go buy a hat.
Yeah. And like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit.
Megaton Lifestyle.